All right, let's start. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my stock charts? I'm gonna see. Okay, all right, guys. Sorry, I'm out of everything right now. It seems like the spies have it already filled the gap fill from yesterday where it opened, and now okay. So when I have red flags, I always put the third deviation on my Bollinger Bands, and it's already touched that. So that's kind of suspect. And another thing too, if you guys didn't play bullish yesterday, like you are late to the party. So a lot of this stuff, if you're looking at it now, it's like it's pretty much chasing. I played Tesla, I played Teladoc, like I played a decent amount of stuff and I exited almost everything. Like a decent amount of stuff. Like I played Tesla calls and I also partnered it with Tesla shares and I exited at like 252. So, um, but is there any, I guess I can just talk about market dynamics and things like that because I'm gonna keep it somewhat on the shorter side today. But we can talk about because it is Thursday now. The weekly is kind of shaping up. Um, let's see. And I think tomorrow is I believe it's when a bunch of options expire tomorrow. So let me pull up a few years right now because I think we're at all-time highs for the SPY. If I pulled up 2020, yeah, we have surpassed that now. We still have tomorrow, so we may have increased volume, but I don't exactly know how we're gonna go. I'm not a fortune teller, but I mean everything is through the roof at this point. This is the only time that I actually look at the histograms is it is like they call it seasonalities for the histograms if you guys have read one of the books, but they talk about like how seasons change for the histograms and it's like at its peak and I expect it to kind of falter to possibly go like the seasons of fall. So basically it means like when it's starting to rise up it's like spring and then they summer and then fall. If you read the books now, remember the book titles to give you guys a reference of what I'm talking about. But all I'm saying is like it looks like we've definitely reached. So if you guys are gonna give me plays, like I'll look at them, but at this point, you're chasing because there was so many play opportunities yesterday. And I can and it was funny because a lot of the stuff that I ended up playing because I saw them after hours, I just bought a bunch of shares. So I played Teladoc yesterday. I saw that it had like all this increased volume finally broke out and I sold it around like 21.50. I think it was like a 7% run off or something. So I just bought a bunch of shares, but and then I played Tesla calls, shares, what else? Tesla, Teladoc, WBI, like a bunch of them. Anyways, one I'm watching energy right now because even though the SPY is just a hammer right now, we still have 2 hours left. And we might have more volume than yesterday. So that's just something that I'm watching right now. So with that, you guys already know what I do is I look at energy stocks. So we can take a look at them right now and see which ones look best. But that is so one thing I've noticed about energy, it looks like this past week like we had an aggressive move down, but as of right now, it looks like it was a liquidity grab because we did drop a little bit lower here and we shot up. Now we're taking over last week's candle, and I know we still have tomorrow, but we're potentially going to break higher than last week. So that's just one thing. And we were in consolidation for quite a while. So, and with another day, we most likely will have increased volume. So that's one of the things I looked at. That's all I'm really seeing. Everything else, it kind of looks like we're chasing. So we can just talk about sectors out, which is literally just energy. So you guys already know how I look at it. So I'll just pull it up and we can kind of go from there. I'll kind of leave this session for you guys to leave as like questions you guys have for me. But yeah, this is the only sector that I kind of saw, unless you guys want to do bearish stuff, like we can look at that too. I think I noticed I saw communications kind of faltering. So let's take a look. I think earlier when I looked at it, I saw Google was dying, but we'll see if it's still the same. And now it looks like it's trying to find support. Before it was a bearish engulfing, but now I wouldn't be surprised if I see it. Okay, hold on. I'll show you guys all the groups so that you guys can see, and then we can just go from there. No, no. You can. I still wouldn't even go bearish quite yet because it's still closing higher than yesterday. No. Utilities looks interesting. I guess we can look at that. But sometimes the options are kind of funky on utilities, so I guess we can take a look at that. XOP. Yeah, energy is the strongest. All right. So yeah, let's just, which is funny because this is still 1 year right now, but it looks like the circulation is going good. All right, so you can look at XLP. XLP. Okay, XLU. Let's look at XLU. Is there anything that you guys are watching? So what I usually do is I just kind of scroll through and see which ones look some weakness. So one thing that I also want to note for you guys, when I look at something, like for instance, NEE, even though it's an inverted hammer, we're still technically closing higher than this like, few days. So that's just something that I look at when I look at like context. ALB might be dumping because it has dividends, and dividends does affect people like, well, they call it dividend gathering strategy or something like that. So they buy all the shares if they are written on paper that they have the stock. They can still get the dividend even when the payout's like a few weeks later. All right, let's take a look at what is PCG and yeah, we can look at PCG. I wonder if there's like new stuff. Okay, there has to be something going on. Okay. So this is something that I just downgrade. Okay, downgrade to sell stock. Okay, that's the reason why. All right, with that, that seems weird. Take a look at the weekly. I don't know. This is still in like a progressive uptrend. Okay, I don't know. I don't know if I would touch the utilities. You said ALB? Let's take a look at that one. Okay. Which direction were you thinking, David? I'm going to assume that you're thinking bearish, but the thing is, I think Ali brought this up pretty bullish like a few weeks ago, like last week, last Friday. And it sure enough had its run off. And then now, like as of right now, literally all the stocks look the same at this point. Like they had a massive gap up. And I don't even like guess I mean the breakout was yesterday. Or you could have technically even done this one, the balance for that day. Or yesterday. like either one. I just looking at this, I wouldn't do anything actually. Um, and I also think it has dividend payouts, which dividends kind of what happens with dividends for some of the stocks is people chase the dividend, then they dump it all after the dividend payout occurs, and I think it is today. But I also wouldn't bank on it, like people are gonna dump it. So I don't know, these gaps and this moves out makes me feel uncomfortable, so I probably wouldn't touch it. XLRE. Sean, I don't even know which, like, it's also touching the third deviation of the Bollinger Band. So if you wanted to go bullish, it would have been yesterday. Because we had like increased volume. Take a look at the weeklies.
Hey, Erin.
Yeah.
What about playing like a bull put credit spread on like the IWM? Because like I looked at it and it was something like for a 22 December expiration, so like 6 days,
Yeah.
it was something like 150 or $200 payout and like $150 risk.
All right. So let's talk. Okay. So you're saying IWM. So let's say this is a week of it. All right. So I have a rule that, I mean, this is a massive run up. If I have a rule that if I do card spreads and things like that, I always wanted to do two support or resistances, whichever direction that you're going away. From what I'm seeing here, I don't even know if you did a week, maybe you can get like, I don't even know. Can you get 184?
Yeah, probably those are probably worthless right now.
Okay, or whatnot, because it's had this massive run up. And we like if you're doing a bull put spread, like there was a lot of opportunities now, and we're closing this month's not over, or this week's not over, so I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but I mean we could see heavy profit. That's done. Plus, all right, so here's my thought. We have this massive gap up, right? It rejected this deviation portion here. If it tries to retrace down, then you can get better strikes. And you can be safer like in your strikes. Because now, like, I think if I pull up every single stock right now, I think they all look the same. QQQ is struggling to hold. What's Microsoft? Microsoft is a bearish candle. It looks like it's approaching some support, but if you just look at this market structure, so I don't know if I would do that. A bull put on that with especially that daily candle. It's a little concerning. I think. With IWM.
Okay.
That's the reason why, because it's an inverted hammer candle, and I know it might potentially try to do like fill up that gap that it had today. Is my only concern because that's a lot of volume too. So I
Yeah,
don't even
there
know.
was a ton. And it
Yeah,
was like there was a ton after hours.
no,
Like I
no,
was
I believe it. I mean, I'm potentially part of that after hours crowd because like not just for IWM, but like I think Tesla gapped up too. Like all these stocks gapped up. Um, so we're all like, I don't know, when the market makes such an intense move, I don't really like playing it after the fact that I already played it, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Um,
because you don't know what's going to happen in the reaction. It's
yeah, this is the other thing too. It's like I made my money, I'm good. I'm just gonna kind of observe for the time being because like this is the also the other thing too. And I know everyone is starting at different points. Like this move is like 1.4% in a day. That is not normal. Like usually the stock market when it's in a healthy market, it will like move 0.2, 0.3, maybe 0.5, and it won't react to such heavily with news. and things like that. I did read tidbits here and there of whatever, what's his face, Papa Powell said, and it sounded like I think he said something about like there will potentially be rate cuts next year and things like that. But like the market shouldn't react to such just words, is what I'm saying.
Overall, he seemed optimistic, and
Yeah,
and it was funny because when I was watching IWM leading up to the press release or whatever,
yeah.
and it dropped down to like 183.
Interesting. No, I wasn't
And then
watching.
at two o'clock, it shot up like
But
crazy.
it's interesting because like small caps are, I guess, are the ones hit hardest by inflation and things like that, right? And I don't know if they're the hardest hits by interest rates. I don't know, but it is interesting. And I guess what I'm just saying is like we're getting in uncharted waters. Is all I'm saying. So I'll be totally real with you guys. I am in a lot of cash. Like I'm sitting on a bunch of cash right now. I played a decent amount of stuff yesterday. I'm not like maybe I'll entertain the idea of XLE, but aside from that, and this is just a maybe, like if this holds, then yeah, potentially. But I could also the risk it could go down here, fill it, and then go higher. I don't. But from the volume, like it looks potentially pretty good because I'm noticing that is the only thing that is seems to be propping up things like relative strength compared to the SPY because everything else on the RRG it looks kind of weak um, on the sector ETFs. Like everything else doesn't look that great. See, if XLP, I mean, I would like it if it took out that candle, but that's a huge candle. Um, so I'll read your comment, Kelly. But yeah, aside from that, XLY is increased volume, but I don't like that daily candle. Yeah, I guess you could entertain XLP puts maybe, but I don't even know. We'll just all right. So yeah, I don't if it has like very good volume today, and it might, I don't know. It's rejecting at a point, it's at the 200-day moving average, but all right, I'll draw some lines. If we're talking about possibly looking at a play. Because the other thing too is tomorrow's Friday. And I think it's like a bunch of things expire. So sometimes it gets really funky. You know what, guys? I don't even know. Okay, so let's just see. Here is the peak. If it closes through here, and it continues, maybe you could shoot for 71. All right, if it reaches down a little bit lower. I want to see increased volume so you can watch it, but I guess depending on where it goes, if it starts like faltering through here, then maybe I have a price target of 71. This is if I were to play it bearish. And then I would cut out at 72 because there is the moving average of the 200. And if it were to break through, then it was like 72 and a half. That area is definitely in play. That is if I were to entertain this idea for puts. So yeah, I guess XLP. Obviously just looked at relatively to the SPY. And then the only other one is XLE. And then the only other thing that I'm looking at is XOM and CVX, but then I don't like that because it looks like it's rejecting off the moving average. So no, CVX. Again, there's another moving average. So risk to reward, I mean, it could potentially fill up this area, but I don't like it. All right. What is it? Hello, I'm still in here with it looks great. Options expire tomorrow, which I'm thinking might push out, but that's totally 5 shares daily is good. Volta is up. I've scaled out and it closes low, we'll sell him. Sorry. Okay, all right. I will, sorry, I did not see that. Let me look at this really quickly. Kelly, one thing that I've noticed is you're holding an option that expires tomorrow. I never, ever, ever hold things to expiration because the time frame is what you need to hold something. Like options hold intrinsic value, and if you try to get rid of it tomorrow, like there's not much time value to it. So if you buy more time, then it has more time value. Okay. VP looks great. Options. Okay. I mean, had a pretty good run up. The histograms are starting to kind of change in direction, so that's quite nice. Everything is starting to like curl up. Um, Erie, am I doing the right one? Okay. I don't like this rejection off the 200. That's a little concerning. I mean, if you're already, okay, Kelly, I would get rid of it. I'll message you, but yeah, I would get rid of that one because especially if it expires tomorrow and you're up like this, the thing had like a massive run up and it's already rejecting off the 200 day. I don't know what your price target was, but like if you were in it prior to yesterday, I would have already gotten out. Um, I don't know exactly the time frames, but yeah, that's a little concerning. So yeah, it rejected here, so I would probably get out. What else are you? I gotta put out. Okay. Yeah, honestly, guys, that's like the only thing that I'm like XLP and XLE stuff. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But that's literally it. Because I don't know, every single stock that I pull up looks like this. Like big tech is faltering. Let's what am I looking at? The only ones that are like really running, I guess, are bank stocks. But even like, would you be chasing that? Like that's literally like being invited to a party and you were last minute. Like this is what it looks like. So I would be out. Um, yeah, guys, I'm not a fan right now of chasing anything at this point. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. Um, and just like shoot me a message. But as of right now, like everything is so reaching right now. I'm not gonna pull up DIA. Let's see. Looks similar to like I wouldn't really touch any of these right now. All the bullish plays were done yesterday, and it's tomorrow's Friday. So yeah, I would not do anything. But
Yeah,
yeah,
apparently volatility is supposed to when those 15 December
for tomorrow.
exp yeah, like and there's so much volume in it. So volatility
It's gonna be
is
through the roof. Yeah, exactly. And I would just be careful. Like unless you have a lot of time or something, I wouldn't do anything. Um, in that sense. And tomorrow's yeah, they call it quad witching or whatever hour and all that, and things just look very stretched. As much as I'm tempted and I love to trade and all that, I don't even know if I'm gonna play. I know we talked about XLE and XLP, but I don't know if I'm gonna do anything.
probably just be popcorn, pull out the popcorn and watch.
Yeah, pretty much. Cause like even I don't where's Tesla right now? I played this one and it broke out, but it's like yeah, it's already this is also concerning. It rejected again. It went to 253.88. That is the highest because my price target originally like if it gets to 257, 252.75, and it did, but like it's already kind of rejecting. I don't know. So I mean, look at the weekly. It's still a pretty strong candle, so I'm not gonna lie about that. Like but I don't want to mess with it because Tesla like rips your heart out and then cuts you, and then brings it back to life. It's just like an emotional roller coaster. Um, but yeah, I'm not really entertaining much things right now. So, and I'm looking at things, but it's just I don't know. I wouldn't really do much. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. But literally, you wanted to play things. Yesterday was the day. Like it was literally one of those days. If you played pretty much anything bullish, you probably would be fine. So, but you just use the best one. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I guess we can. If you guys have any credit spreads or things tomorrow, we can maybe go over some stuff. So, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, Erin.